Hey guys, welcome to another video. I really appreciate you joining today. Today I want to do a video about my 2022 running year in review, and talk about what I did compared to the goals that I set at the beginning of the year. We'll say I met some of them, I missed several of them. Going into the beginning of 2022, I was just a couple months post heart attack that I had in October of 2021. So I know I started the year a bit slow. I had to keep my heart rate low up until I think about April. They had me keeping my heart rate like under 120 or something like that. It was pretty low, so I was running very slowly or walking quite a bit. But I did set out my goals, and I was able to run from the beginning of the year. I had in my head the last few months that my goal that I had set was a combined 2,500 miles of walking and running. Well, actually, when I watched the video from last year, I actually set the goal at 3,000, because I've done 3,000 plus multiple years, but I did not really come close to that at all. I ended up the year with 2232, so I was well under what I set as a goal. I had also set a goal to get a medical release for hard training after that heart attack, and I did get that. Like I said, probably March or April, I was able to start raising my heart rate and training hard again. I also set a goal of getting to the trails 50 times during the year. The year prior, I had hardly made it to the trails at all. I'd only made it like 15 or 20 times. So I set a goal of 50. I ended up coming short on that. I ended up with 44. I think I would have made it had not had health issues for my parents the last couple months, and then I got COVID at the end of December. So I ended up with 44. I'm not real far short, but a little bit short of the 50 I shot for. Another goal I had was to get to 100 lifetime combined marathons and ultras. I started the year, I ended last year with 95, so I needed 5. I did reach that goal. I'm at 103 now, so I was able to do eight marathons or ultras this year. I said I wanted to do more runs with friends, and I will definitely check that as a positive. I think I did that. Several of the races I did were with friends. I did the Hooloop series in the fall, which was with basically a lot of hanging out with friends and running. A lot of the races I did were, and then a lot of the runs I did on the trails, I ran a lot with Michael and Barkley, Elisa. Anyway, I did do lots of those, and I even did 6 of the Trinity 5000, the 5K series over the summer. And those, I go run 25 or 30 minutes doing the 5K, but then I hang out for an hour and a half visiting with friends. So my social time and social interaction definitely went up this year, and I find that a positive. Another goal I had was to have one race of 100 miles or more. I did not meet that goal. I had 3 different times that I thought I might be able to do it. In February, I was signed up for the Jackalope Jam 48 hour. Again, I was still in the restriction of having to run real slow and keep my heart rate low, but 48 hours, I thought I could do it. Well, we ended up having bad weather. I couldn't get out of town the initial day of the 48 hour, so I ended up cutting it down to a 24-hour race. I knew I wasn't going to make 100 miles in that time. And then I went down there, and it was pretty cold, and I got rained on and got wet, and I quit early. I only did 25 miles, so that was definitely under the plan. The other 2 opportunities I had to get 100 miles for me was I went into, I trained up for Perpetual Motion 24 hour at the beginning of December. Unfortunately, that's when my dad had real bad health problems and went to the hospital, and anyway, he and my mother needed a lot of help, so I ended up not making the race. I thought I was going to make that up the end of December and still get my 100 miles, because I was signed up for the Snowdrop. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm signed up for the Snowdrop 55 hour here at the end of December. Even though I hadn't trained a lot during December, I thought it'd be pretty easy in 55 hours to get 100 miles. Well, that didn't work out either because I ended up getting COVID, so I didn't get to go to the race. So my 100-mile goal did not happen. Hopefully we'll get there this year. Along the way, I will say I didn't really run any fast marathons or anything like that. I did the Brazos Bend 50K in early April, very slow time. A few weeks later I ran the Hatchie 50K. I was actually pretty happy with that race. At the end of May I ran the Texas Triple one of the days, the marathon, and I just did that easily. During the summer I did the Hell's Half Acre. I did a half marathon. Then I did for my other marathon sort of efforts, I went to the Texas Endurance Runs. They have two 24-hour races and a 48-hour race. I signed up for the 2 24s with just goals to get to a marathon at least on each day to get me, they were going to be my 99th and 100th marathon or longer races. Well, the first day I did 32.5 miles. The second day I did just a little over a marathon. Then I also ran the Texas, 2 of the Hula Loop series. I was mostly using those for long runs, but 2 of them I felt fairly good, and it did like 28.5 miles. So I count those as my last 2 marathons, as 2 of my marathons. And then I did the second day of the Texas Quad, which is out at Bachman Lake toward the end of November. I went out to do that as a last training run before the perpetual motion that I thought I was going to get to run, and I took that one easy. So those were my 8 marathon or longer races. Again, pretty slow performances, nothing that spectacular, but I did have a few good races during the year, mostly the half distance. I ran early in the year. I ran the Wrath Dalmatian half in February. I was having to keep my heart rate low, but I was actually very happy with that race. I had a good race at Paris Pear in September, where I ran a good half for me. The Nob Hills half trail marathon, the 1st of October. I actually had a real good race until I fell and hurt myself about 9 or 10 miles into the half, but was able to finish the race, but the time was much slower after my fall. Anyway, those are kind of the highlights of what I did. The 5K series, I was pretty slow, but I really enjoyed visiting with friends, and I ended up showing up to enough races that I still ended up second in my age group for the series, so my name ended up being on a shirt, which was pretty nice. Anyway, so that's how I did against my goals this past year. As far as goals for the channel, I had a few. At the beginning of the year, I had about 400 subscribers. I was hoping, I said that my goal was to double that to 800. Well, I ended the year with 1,025, so I met that goal. I'm probably not going to set goals for subscribers anymore because it's really kind of out of my control other than improving my content. So those will be all my goals going forward. I had a goal of doing a better job editing. I think I've gotten some better. Still a lot of room for improvement on that. I had a goal to get better speaking on camera. Again, a lot of room for improvement at that. I don't think I'll ever get really great at it, but I still would say that's a check. I think I improved a little bit. Improving my storytelling, I'll put an X and say I really don't think I did that. Some of the things I did learn for doing the channel is I learned how to do voiceovers, I learned how to do green screens, I did my first live streams. So it's definitely a learning, evolving process doing this channel for YouTube. Anyway, that is it kind of for my year in review. I'll come out with another video with my goals for 2023. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you had a wonderful 2022. If you don't mind, please give me comments and tell me how your year went. I'd really appreciate hearing them. And other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and keep moving.